Welcome to the Interpolation lab. In this lab, we're going to use some maps from Arlington, Texas. And you can go find those by downloading the shapefiles from here. I do have them available to you as a zip file here, and so I just recommend, to save some time, just go ahead and download those. Once they are in your download folder, you're going to want to move them to wherever you keep your GIS files. And since mine are here, I'll just move it in here. And so now I've got my shape files in here. Now I'm going to, just for simplicity, go ahead and unzip them. I've already done that, and you can see if you need help unzipping, you can go down here to Shapefiles, Extract All, and then you can extract them. And they're done. Okay. All right, so I've got my shape files up here. All right, so now I know where they need to be. So first thing we're going to do is open up QGIS. Okay, QGIS is open, and what we're going to do is, there's my QGIS, and we go down here and we see shapefiles. We're going to pull in this first file according to step 1. Pulled that in here. Now you might get a pop-up that says select transformation for Arlington 2007 SS point STPL. So if you get that prompt, go ahead and click OK. I didn't, because I've already done this lab, so my system is used to it. Now we're going to pull in the boundary one here. There we go. And so if we unclick the boundary one and zoom in, you can see that these are made up of tiny little dots. If you look at them and click on one of them, you can see that there's an elevation tied to that in meters. It's good to note. Okay. So moving on to step 7, we're going to pull in Island 2004. I'm going to back out here. Close this. And I like the little hand so I can move things around. And we're going to pull in Island 2004 as well. You notice that there's an island down here and here that we're looking at. So, oh, these are, yeah, elevation. Okay. All right, so we're moving past step 8 into step 9. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the processing toolbox. Okay, here's my processing toolbox. And I am going to type in interpolation. And what I want is tin interpolation, which is this one right here. And I'm going to double click that. Okay, that was step 9. Step 10, we're going to make sure that we have the Arlington 2007 in the place. And we want to change this to elevation. We're going to click on the plus sign. You can see the elevation is at those points. That is exactly what we want. Okay, that is step 11. Step 12, now we're going to go to what is known as extent. Okay, we've got this as linear, that's okay. We're going to click over here. That's the extent there, but we actually want to calculate that from a layer. So we're going to click on the little down arrow, click on layer, and then we're going to use use the boundary layer for that purpose. Okay, so we got the boundary layer in there. Now we're going to go down a little bit further, and we want to save the file. This is step 12, I believe. No, step 13. Okay. So first of all, we're going to make sure this is 5, and the y is also 5, so we're good there. And then we're going to change this to save to file. So click on the 3 dot signs, click on save to file, and we're going to name this elevation. Oops. There we go, and click save. All right, so now we're going to click run. All right, and so now we've got this TIFF file over here in layers called elevation. Let's look at what that looks like. Okay, so this is a lake, and you can see the elevation of that lake in here, and we've interpolated that based on all of the points that were collected at the lake. Okay, so those points, just to kind of give you a picture, someone probably put down some kind of pole or had a diver go down there, and then using a GPS unit or something calculated the elevation up from sea level in order to get those calculations. So they used all of those little tiny little points, and this is what we've made. Okay, so now we're going to play with this a little bit to make it a little nicer to look at. And so we're going to go on to step 15. In step 15, it says, from the processing toolbox, search and locate for GDAL. So let's go up here, GDAL. Okay, so we've got GDAL up here. Okay. And we're looking for raster extraction. Okay. Raster extraction. GDAL raster extraction. I'm just going to try raster extraction. All right, there's your GDAL raster extraction. And then we're going to clip raster by mask layer. So this one right here, that's the one we're looking for. Okay. All right, so what we want up here is elevation, and then we want to clip it by the boundary layer. Okay. That's not set. Match is good. So now we're going to go down here to clipped. And we're going to save that to a file here. And we're going to call that elevation 10 clipped. Okay, I'm going to click Save. I am going to change where that's at because it's going into Training 9. So we're going to probably should make a Training 10 folder. And open that up, and then elevation. All right. So I think then I can click Run. So if I zoom in, you can see that I clipped off the area around it. And so now it looks more like the water area that we are looking at. Okay, so moving on to 17, I can get rid of these dots. And this is what we've got thus far. We're going to go on the styling, so I'm going to click on styling now. Then you can see we've got styling over here for us. And so what we want to do in step 18 is go to single pseudo color. Okay, you can see deeper down by the reservoir, the dam of that reservoir. Makes sense. Okay. Now we're going to change this to invert color ramp. All right. I actually kind of like it the other way myself, but that's what we're going to do because that's what the instructions say. Now we're going to go back up here to the processing toolbox again, and I am going to do delete. I'm going to hit GDOL again, GDOL. Let me pull this down so I can see more. And this one, we are looking for contour layer, and we're going to open that up. I want to make sure that this is right because I did this earlier and I actually did it with elevation instead of the clipped elevation 10 clipped. So make sure that's right. We're going to switch this to 5 instead of 10. And then we're going to come down here to contours and we're going to save it to a file. And I'm just going to put contour in since I've done it before. Do that. Make sure I've got my file. You don't need to put in the ending if you don't want to. It'll do that. Just make sure that it the save file type is GPKG files. So make sure that that is right. And then I'm going to click Run. And you can see that we've got some lines in here that we can see the contour lines much better. All right, so from there, we're going to move on to, let's see, let's label them. And so what we will do is I'm going to get rid of my processing toolbox and let's go to labels. This is on contour. Labels, labels, labels. Right there. That what we're looking for? No. We're missing it right there. Is that it? Labels? Yep, ABC right there. So there's our label. We're going to do a single label. Okay, and you can see that we've got all of those different layer elevations intact there. Okay. All right. All right, so we're just looking at these numbers, and you probably realized, hey, something's off here and they're not right. This isn't really looking at elevation here. This ought to be deeper than these out here. So what we'll do is we'll go up here to the value, and it's using the ID. We're going to switch that to elevation, and you can see now they've all switched to the elevation number, and we can see them way better. Okay. So then what we want to do is go to placement, which is this button here, and we want it to be curved. So we're going to go from parallel to curved. You can see it's now changed the location of where all of those are at, and we are now done. All right. And as usual, what I want you to do is create a cool map of this of our map. So what you're going to do again, you'll go up to Project, New Print Layout, click OK, and we'll add an item. We'll add a map. All right. If you'd like to change how it sits on there, I am going to move it to over here, and I'm going to add some items. First of all, our north arrow as usual. I don't like that north arrow anymore, so I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do this one. There's my north arrow. You do not have to use that one. You can use whatever you want. Let's get our scale bar in here. I want to change this into meters. So I'm going to go over here to move my face over here, and we're going to turn. We've got our scale bar going here. Single box. I do like double boxes. And then scale bar units in meters. And there we go. We could do this in kilometers, but that would just be 1 or 2 kilometers. So I'll do that. 1, 2 kilometers. There we go. And then we'll add a legend. Okay. Too much stuff on here. We don't need all that stuff. So what we can do is come over here, and I can first of all click on auto update because we don't want that on there, and I'm going to just get rid of a few of these things. We don't need all of this on here. And I think I want to we've got our contour. I'm going to make that a capital letter. Contour. And I could put 5 meters. We'll just put 5M. And then, oops, bring that back. Then I want this to be just elevation. So I'm going to type that in there. Elevation or depth. I'm going to put that in as depth because it's a pond. oh, it's elevation, sorry. And let's get rid of, let's just hide this. There we go. I can move that down, and let's put a title on here. Title, a label. Okay, and if you scroll back up to the top, you can remind yourself what this is a map on. This is a Lake Arlington. Texas. Arlington, Texas. And I'm just going to put elevations in Lake Arlington, Texas. Let's change my font to something better. See if this makes it look better, huh? There we go. All right, so there it is. I'm going to just export it as a PDF. I'm going to put in my name, Klein, Lake Arlington. And you're done. Okay, so this is what you're going to be submitting to me. Make sure it has the legend, the north arrow, the scale, and the label, and as you see it here. And that's it. Have